Aircraft of the Air Force of the Armed Forces of Ukraine struck 3 Russian artillery pieces that were in combat positions. This was reported by the Sunflower Telegram channel associated with the Ukrainian Air Force. The post also includes a video of the attack. The attack was carried out using high-precision SDB GBU-39 bombs used by tactical aviation. The enemy guns were detected by a reconnaissance drone, which recorded their location and transmitted the coordinates for the strike. The Sunflower also noted that on September 23rd alone, about 30% of all strikes on Russian artillery guns had been carried out by aircraft. As a reminder, in August, the Ukrainian Air Force destroyed the invaders' bridges and pontoon ferries in the Kursk region. One of the strikes was carried out near the village of Zvanoy using American JD-AMER, GBU-62, and SDB GBU-39, precision-guided bombs. The Russian authorities reportedly believe that a collision between a fuel train and a truck, which caused a massive fire, may have been sabotage. If so, Ukraine's campaign against Russian fuel supplies may be going beyond drone strikes. The crash happened at 7:26 when an 18-car freight train collided with a truck on the R-120 Federal Highway of the Rudnya-Golinki section of the Moscow Railway in the Rudnyansky district of the Smolensk region. 16 of the cars overturned and caught fire. The truck was reported to have crossed the tracks against a red light. The as-yet unidentified truck driver died, while the train driver and his assistant were injured but refused hospitalization. The train was carrying fuel and lubricants, apparently from Belarus. According to the Baza Telegram channel, investigators from the Investigative Committee, which is Russia's rough equivalent of the FBI, suspect sabotage. Members of the locomotive crew stated that the truck deliberately drove onto a crossing equipped with a traffic light directly in front of the train. The train regularly transported fuel at the same time, so it was easy to calculate the time the train would arrive at the crossing. Investigators are currently closely investigating this theory. They are reconstructing the truck driver's full route, establishing the point of departure, and interviewing acquaintances. The investigative committee has opened a criminal case for violating railway safety regulations. If the incident is confirmed to be sabotage, it may indicate a widening of Ukraine's campaign against Russian fuel supplies. Belarus has several large refineries which are off-limits to Ukrainian attacks. However, fuel trains coming from Belarus to relieve the current fuel shortages in Russia may well be seen as fair game for Ukrainian attacks. The fuel crisis is rapidly spreading to more and more cities and regions across Russia. Every day, one can find not just one, not a few, but dozens of reports that the fuel crisis is spreading or worsening. At many gas stations where fuel is still available, gasoline is being dispensed in quantities of either no more than 10 to 20 liters per vehicle or only for specialized vehicles. This is the clearest indication that the attacks on Russia's fuel infrastructure are working and should continue and intensify. The attacks have reduced Russian oil refining by almost a fifth on certain days and cut exports from key ports, pushing Moscow closer to reducing oil production. Ukraine has also been attacking oil depots, pipelines, and pumping stations with a vengeance. With Russia's shadow fleet of oil tankers seemingly bypassing sanctions, Ukraine earlier this month struck the Primorsk oil port in the Leningrad region, Russia's largest oil terminal on the Baltic Sea, the final station of the Baltic pipeline system, and a crucial hub for Russia's maritime exports. Kyiv is hoping its aerial offensive will weaken Russia's ability to finance its war machine, stir domestic discontent, and force Vladimir Putin to the negotiating table. A Russian made a review of a new Lada Largus, priced at almost 1.8 million rubles, $21,500, in the comfort trim level. The car does not have climate control, a stereo, steering wheel, and seat adjustment, covering or function buttons on the steering wheel. It also has an outdated dashboard, and instead of speakers, there are foam plugs.
Do you think it's normal that in the new Largus, which costs 1,800,000 rubles, there are foam plugs instead of speakers? Well, guys, it's the year 2025. Just saying. 4 power windows, but no automatic mode anywhere. These screws are stripped all over the car. So look, the configuration is basic, there's no stereo, the steering wheel is bare, no cover, no functions, no telescopic adjustment. Well guys, just right. Thank you for having 2 airbags, air conditioning and ABS. And for that, thank you, right? Look at the dashboard. It doesn't change from year to year. This is what the air conditioner looks like. There's no climate control here. What's next? Let me show you the pedal assembly, how everything looks here.
See for yourself. Judge for yourself.
Do the floor mats not fit or what? Yes, the floor mats do not fit the mounts. Yeah guys, you look at the car and think, man, what are people getting paid for at the factories, right? The car is 7-seater and for that, thanks, but basically the rear row has no conveniences, just a window lifter and that's it. No heaters, no outlets, nothing.
The Ukrainian military recorded the invasion of unknown drones from Hungary, which conducted reconnaissance of objects in the border areas. This was reported by Commander-in-Chief Oleksandr Syrsky during a meeting with the president. The Commander-in-Chief also reported on recent incidents with drones on the Ukrainian-Hungarian border. The Ukrainian military recorded the entry of reconnaissance drones into our airspace, and these are probably Hungarian drones. They could have been conducting reconnaissance on the industrial potential in the Ukrainian border areas. I instructed to check all available data and immediately report on each recorded fact, Volodymyr Zelensky said. In May of this year, the Security Service of Ukraine exposed an agent network of Hungarian military intelligence that was collecting information on the military security of the Zakarpattia region. One of the agents was a 40-year-old former soldier from the Berehov district, who was recruited by the Hungarians and put on standby back in 2021. The curator activated him in September 2024 and instructed him to study the mood of the local population, their attitude to the possible deployment of a Hungarian peacekeeping contingent, and to search for places to buy military equipment. The Hungarian side was also interested in the location of the Ukrainian military's forces and equipment, as well as the staffing and number of law enforcement agencies in the region. It is documented that after that, the agent personally reconnoitered the location of the defense forces and the coordinates of S-300 anti-aircraft missile systems in the region. Earlier, Militarnyi published calls recorded in 2023 by Hungarian Defense Minister Krzysztof Szalai-Bobrovnicki to end the peaceful mentality and move to Phase 0 on the road to war. In the audio recording, he says that the so-called rejuvenation policy, which was carried out under the slogan of renewing the army's command structure, is in fact nothing more than the installation of military officers more loyal to the Orban regime. In particular, this was clearly manifested when the youngest chief of the general staff in the history of the Hungarian armed forces, Romulus Rusin Sendi, was replaced by Gabor Barondi, who was 2 years older than him. It was natural that the process, which we publicly recognized as rejuvenation, was simply the easiest way to break with the peace mentality, the Hungarian Minister of Defense said in an audio recording. The unprecedented military spending by the Orban government in recent years reinforces the theses voiced in the audio recording. For example, the country is currently purchasing new German armored vehicles, such as Leopard 2A7HU tanks, Lynx infantry fighting vehicles, PZH 2000 self-propelled artillery systems, Turkish armored vehicles, Norwegian-American NASAMS air defense systems, and more.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Also, if you want to support Warthog Defense, please become our member and get early access to new videos, exclusive members-only videos, and become administrator in comments section. The membership link is in the description.
Rescues every day. We had a guy last week, it's 6 rescues in 6 days. You know, he's doing the job every day.